Thank you, Mr. Gensler, Chair Gensler, for being here. What percentage of Americans are in the stock market?
Well, it's there's at least 52 million Americans that have investment advisors advising them. There's even more than that number, and I will have to get back to you, that actually invest in mutual funds or have brokerage accounts. But it's well over half, but we'll get you an exact statistic.
I've heard it was around half. If you could give me some specifics, helpful. The thing that surprises me, what I read and learned, that 1 out of 5 Americans have invested or traded cryptocurrency. Are you aware of that?
I've seen some of those statistics.
1 out of 5?
Again, I can't vouch for the surveys. It's not done by the SEC or this committee.
So this is an industry which you have said is, quote, rife with fraud, scams, and abuse. Did you say that recently?
I would say it in this live hearing. It is a field that is rife with fraud, scams, and abuse, and there are a lot of actors in this field that are international, offshore, but they're still tapping on the American public's wish for a better future.
According to one estimate, in 2022 alone, fraud schemes involving cryptocurrency totaled more than $9 billion. Does that surprise you?
No, it could be larger, sir.
I could go through the list of outrages involved in this industry. Celebrity endorsers, Matt Damon, noted financial advisor, Larry David, another financial advisor I trust implicitly, Tom Brady, who can't even get paid for doing the commercial, Kim Kardashian, and on and on. They spend billions on sports arena or stadium naming rights deals to gain misguided credibility with everyday Americans. Manipulate prices with phony tokens of no underlying value, fail, protect, and segregate investor funds. This is happening over and over again. This doesn't sound like America. What's missing here?
It's a real pattern. I mean, there's a technology underlying it, a ledger technology called blockchain technology. There may well be a particular value in some of these use cases, but the American public is not getting the proper disclosure to make their investment choices. And then the companies operating in this space, as you say, are bundling and commingling services that we would never allow. We would never allow the New York Stock Exchange to also trade against their customers. We don't. We haven't for decades. And here, there's all this bundling and commingling. And what's more, there's a tremendous amount of bad actors in the field as well. A lot of them offshore, preying upon U.S. investors.
And a lot of them are looking for a home in our political system, are they not?
That's not our jurisdiction, but I have read some of those articles.
I went through a hearing like this, walked out in the hallway. The reporter said, "How much money has your campaign fund taken from the cryptocurrency business sector?" And I said, "None. I have nothing to do with them." She said, "You're wrong. It's $20,000, and I can show you." I hadn't asked for it, didn't realize I'd received it, but they are playing everywhere they can to buy influence in the process. What's the best way for us to protect American consumers from cryptocurrency in the future?
Well, I think that we have robust authorities at the SEC. I think our sibling agency still does. I've said this often, the CFTC may need additional authorities because some of these tokens are not under our jurisdiction. I think it's very few, but I'm not trying to prejudge any one token. But our authorities at the SEC are quite robust. We could always use some more resources.
That's a question I want to get to because I'm on the Agriculture Committee too, and there's an ongoing debate among some quarters as to whether the CFTC has any authority in this industry. Do you think they do?
Well, there are some tokens that, and Bitcoin, I'll just stay with that. Bitcoin itself doesn't have the attributes of an investment contract under the securities laws. But many tokens, without prejudging any one, have the attributes of an investment contract, meaning there's a group of individuals that the public is investing based in anticipation of profits based on their efforts. But as it relates to the Bitcoin, as I understand it, under the Commodities and Exchange Act, There's anti-fraud and anti-manipulation, but they don't have what's called plenary rule-writing authority. But I'm sure Chair Benham could better answer some of those questions.
So when it comes to appropriated funds, do you have enough in the SEC personnel and resources to deal with the cryptocurrency business?
If this committee were to see fit and want us to have more resources, we could use them. Part of this $73 million, I know, and I really do thank the committee to come to unanimously to fund us, but that we were hoping to add another 170 people, some in disclosure review, some in examination, but certainly some of them in enforcement. And, you know, that cuts back on our ability to do this.